Building the roster don't mean S. No quarterback. Could have had Fields, Jags, and Jets doing it right. Stroud or Young? What do you think? What do you think? I got to ask about tanking this year to get one of these guys.
Goodness.
Do you think that we should get one of those quarterbacks?
I hope not, man. I don't want to be. Look, we'll see how it plays out this season. We'll see where these guys are because we may come back next year and those guys may not be the top 2 quarterbacks in this class. We saw what happened last year, but I know we had Stafford for 13 years, who was better than probably both those guys will ever be, and we didn't win a dang thing. So hopefully we can build around these guys. And if it does come down to it, you got to get a quarterback. But just like Lamar, just like all these guys that past pick 15 came in and helped right away, hopefully our guy can do that.
What do you think of Tim Boyle being the franchise quarterback, giving him a 5-year, $500 million contract, Dose of Dion? You think that Tim Boyle can lead us to the land of the greatness?
Promise.
I think fans would love that. Fans would love that. If we just rocked out a Tim Boyle 5-year, $100 million, something light.
Woo!
I think fans would be all over them. Man.
Oh, that would be. That would definitely be a little toasty over there. Early surprise pick to be cut from the final roster. I'll say Michael Brockers. I say he would be a surprise, somewhat of a surprise cut. What about you, Mark Orem?
Early surprise cut. I think maybe because the way they were talking about Will Harris, Dan Campbell was kind of loving him up a little bit, calling him a cafety, saying he was that utility knife. So I'm going to say Will Harris, man. He's
more like a mortality like knife. He put you in the morgue there. Morbid. What do you think about you, Dose of Dion? Surprise cut. I'm surprised that there's 192 in your building and we're not at 100 likes. Smash that like button, folks. Subscribe to the channel as well. Subscribe to the channel because we're bringing out content left and right. And Herm, Big Herm, he's going to be dropping a breakdown of Jameson Williams. Surprise cut. Dose of Dion.
That's tough, man. I hate to do this to him. I'm gonna go with Razzie. I'm gonna go Jared Davis, man. I hate to do it to him.
I
really hate to do it to him.
I hate it. I'm not a big fan of the misguided missile. I'm not the biggest fan of him. Any undrafted free agent making the team, in your opinion? How about running back Bell? Got a nice little signing bonus there. I think he's going to compete with Jermar Jefferson. There's a couple of offensive linemen they picked up too, Mark, that I think could potentially make the football team competing with Tommy Kramer, last year's undrafted guy.
Yeah, I really like the kid they picked up out of TCU. Dose kind of alluded to him a little bit earlier, man. Obina Eze. Strictly a left tackle, though, but this kid's super raw. He literally started playing football like 3-4 years ago. Came from Nigeria, was a basketball guy. Became this left tackle, played at Memphis, went to TCU, and he's a guy that I think is probably going to make this 53.
NFL Junkie, LNU. Some folks, Adam Woodward, Sports, thinks if Goff goes down, the season is done. Do you agree, or would Holmes bring in a veteran QB if Goff is out for the long term? I'm going to throw this one to Dose of Dion. He loves his Kool-Aid, but if Goff goes down, how well is that Kool-Aid going to feel? Is it going to be spoiled? Let's hear it.
Yeah, it's tough to lose your quarterback, man. But I don't think he would go sign a vet. Maybe he would, depending on where we're at in the season. But I don't think he would because they did bring back Boyle and Blau for a reason. I wouldn't say the season's over. I mean, this team, it still isn't great, but I did see some improvement, and we were still competitive in some of those games. So I don't think the season would be over, but it definitely wouldn't be as likely for my playoff prediction.
When he speaks like that, the truth is, I'm going to actually kind of dissect what you just said there.
Okay, dissect.
I said it wouldn't be over. It would be over. If it goes down, it's screwed. Tim Boyle and David Blow. Oh my God, they're 0-8. We would be in a world of hurt. I would look for Jameson Williams. Can you play quarterback? We got Jack Fox. Can you play quarterback? You did throw a little bit, but we would be in a world of hurt. How many defensive tackles make this squad, Mark Orem from Orem's Forum?
DTs, eh? We'll say, well, we got Brockers on there. We got Levi. We got it seems to me like they're going to move Pascal maybe to defensive tackle. I have a feeling that's going to happen. I'm going to say, you got to have at least 4 or 5 guys on the defensive tackle. You got to have Plus, we're going to run a 4-3 too, more packages like that. So it might even be more. You might even see 5 or 6.
We got a Rams fan here. Jeff Abrams. I'm going to throw this to the dose of Dion. Rams fan. He says, how do you guys think Holmes is doing since his arrival?
I love it, man. He's being who he is. And, you know, just the entire thing as a whole, the way they've kind of embraced it instead of, you know, trying to, okay, this is how we do it, but they've embraced what they have. You can see it from the top down. It's not just with the players. It's the entire organization, how things have changed. So, and I'll give a lot of credit to Holmes, but I also should give a lot of credit to Sheila. But Holmes, I love the way that he's drafted, and, you know, they stuck to their plan. So we'll find out soon.
You know, I think Brad Holmes done a phenomenal job since he's been here. He's sticking to the plan. The plan is simply draft your talent, and that's what we got to do. If you want to be a competent football team, you have to draft your talent. You can go in free agent and be Jacksonville Jaguars and buy every single free agent. It's going to hurt your team in the long run. You can trade for expensive players, but again, it's going to hurt your team in the long run. If you just draft your talent, you can draft players for depth. Free agents go away. They come in perfectly good, and they're young. We need young and youth. Mark Orem, what do you think about Brad Holmes so far?
I think there's not really too much to criticize about Brad Holmes. I think he's done a really fine job here. I know a lot of this fan base is getting a little bit antsy, I would say, is the word, about him not going after high-priced free agents, but he has clearly made that message that he does not want to go spend a lot of money just yet. He wants to build to the draft. You know, we could potentially have over $100 million next year. So I think free agency will be big next year. But I like what Holmes is doing. He's trying to bring in. He's brought in Dan Campbell. Campbell's brought in a nice coaching staff. They brought in players that are buying in, and they're trying to build a culture. You know, a culture of winning. They have to start winning first, though, to build it even more. But I really like what Holmes is doing in the last 2 years. I think he's hit 2 really good drafts in a row. This draft here, he's going to get probably 3, possibly 4 starters, and that's excellent. So Holmes is doing an A-plus job right now.
Kneecap biting with smoking Jeremy B. Got an interesting question here. So if the Falcons do not pick up Josh Rosen's 5th-year option, do you sign him after June 1st on a prove-it deal as a backup? Rosen over Blau or Tim Boyle? I want to hear what Dose of Dion's got to think about this one. This is an interesting one. Ooh, you see his face, folks. It's an interesting, it's thinking process. Let's go.
I was thinking, like, where is Josh Rosen in his contract right now? Is he going, do you know, is he going into year 5? Because he's in year 4 then, right? I don't know. Either way, if he's going to be a free agent, I'd probably say no. I haven't seen much of him, but I'm going to say no.
Got a question here. Well, we got smiling Dose of Dion laughing here. When did Jared Davis come back? He came back about 3-4 weeks ago. I think he came back on a 1-year deal, kind of veteran minimum deal. We'll see what the misguided missile can do. Do you have hopes for the misguided missile, Dose of Dion?
I do. I would love. I mean, that would be just such a great story for him to come back to where he was drafted. You know, it obviously didn't work out well, and then he had to deal with the scheme change. He's going to Jets, doesn't work out, he's injured. To have him come back and, you know, he just wanted to be here, it seemed like. I mean, and the Lions wanted to bring him back. To be able to pull it off the way that they did, it'd be an amazing story. So I'm rooting for the guy. I think he needs to get a little bit lighter, come back to maybe what he looked like when he came out of the draft a little bit more. And if he's healthy, maybe he's a downhill, 2-down player for us.
Record was broken today, folks. We got 211 in the building on LNU without doing a live watch party of any sort. That's a record break at 216. Thank you, guys. We're building this channel the right way. Just like Brad Holmes built this roster through the draft, we're drafting folks to build this bad boy up. Smash that like button. Let's get to 100 likes. We're going to keep this thing rolling, man, and keep this thing going. LNU is the day and age NFL teams don't let go of quarterbacks, fall out of top 5. You could give a couple examples from the past, but the way these quarterbacks are translated so quickly these days, you need a top 5. Do you need a top 5 quarterback? Dan Campbell said, Mark Orem, that we don't need an elite quarterback. Do you feel, in this day and age, you an elite quarterback? Oh, we got Luke G in the building. Go ahead, Mark.
You know what? Having an elite quarterback is always a great thing, but I think Dan Campbell, you know, he kind of nailed it. If you build it the right way, you can get away with winning with, you know, a middling to a pretty good quarterback. We have seen it in the past. It's, you know, it happened a little bit more in the past. Lately, you know, we're seeing guys like Mahomes, you see Brady win. Those guys are elite guys, but they also are they have tremendous help on offense and defense. So I don't think you quite need a top 5 quarterback just to win a Super Bowl or to go into the playoffs, because we've seen it. And Jared Goff made it to the playoffs, made it to a Super Bowl before. And I don't really know when he's ever been elite. He did have a great 2018, but I'm not going to say that he's elite. So, no, I don't think we need a top 5.
There is something coming, and that is hitting 100 likes. We're 99. Get 100. Smash that like button if you haven't done so. What's the prediction of wins and losses? This coming from the season for the Lions. Well, the season schedule comes out next week, so we definitely get a better prediction. But I'm going to go with 7-8. That's my prediction. Mark Orm from Orm's Forum, what do you got for season prediction?
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same thing, Mike. I'm going to say 7-10 right now.
What do you have, Dose of Dion? I'm ready for this one.
You know, I overshot a little bit last year because I didn't take into account some of the depth. But this year, that won't happen. So, again, if that TCU guy pans out, I don't have a lot of concerns outside of that. We pushing 10. We at least pushing 10. Let me set the baseline there, okay? 10 wins. We making the playoffs this season.
Let's do another one.
It's not even thank you. We're making the playoffs this year, Mike. Come on, man.
Playoffs.
Let's go.
Playoffs.
Yes.
We're talking about playoffs.
Yes.
How many games should the Lions win? Well, we basically just talked about that. I think should. Okay, should, not what they do. I think they should. Like, their floor needs to be 7. I think they got to get 7. From the talent, from the schedule, from getting healthy. Come on, guys. You got to get to 7 wins. That is my you got to get to. What about you, Mark Orm? What is your you got to get to wins?
I'm the same as you, Mike. They had to get to 7. Dan Campbell, you know, they were close in a lot of games, like we kind of talked about and on the last show too. I think I don't know how many games they lost by single digits, but it was quite a bit, by 8 points or less. So they were always right there. They lost a couple of heartbreakers. You know, the Justin Tucker one is one I'm never ever, I don't think in my life I'm going to forget. And but you know, we went 3 wins. You got at least double that. And then 1. So at least 7. 7's the floor, man. You have to at least reach 7 or 8. So they have to.
Dose of Dion, floor. Now, 17-0 is not a floor, Dose of Dion. Okay, I know. What is your floor here?
It's not the floor.
Look, I mean, look, in all honesty here, right? We're talking 16. No, I'm playing. Look, when the way they have addressed the draft, right? I mean, you didn't go out, you didn't go take a shot on a quarterback, right? These are picks that should help you now. And by the direction that you're going with this, you got your 2 head coach. You know, a rebuild doesn't take 5 years to show any kind of progress. The progress, we should start seeing it. I think where the Lions are at, we should start to see some of that progress. So I like where you guys are hitting that 7 number. I'd say 7 or 8 should be the floor. I mean, look, you had a winning record with Goff in the second half of the season. There's no reason that if I have an offensive line that just I can trust my starters, and with the weapons and the depth that we now have, there's no reason we can't hit that.